Hey guys, in today's video we're going to take a look at Milwaukee's brand new Super Sawzall. Let's zoom out. This thing is a beast. It has a 12.0 amp hour battery. It's supposed to compete with a 15 amp corded Sawzall. So we got this from Milwaukee, we checked it out, we liked it, and so we're going to do an overview of it. We'll run some tests and also share what is in the kit. We're frequently asked what tools are used during our tutorials, and one of those would be a Sawzall, because you got to cut through 2x material, sometimes you got to cut through pipes and so much more. So that's why this tool is so important, and if it can actually replace a corded Sawzall, that's going to be an awesome thing. As you can see, it's a very big Sawzall, hence the name Super Sawzall. The saw without the battery weighs about 8 pounds. With the battery, it weighs about 12 pounds. So it is a little bit beefier than your standard Sawzall. The battery that comes with this kit is called the High Output HD 12.0 amp hour battery. This runs 50% cooler than the traditional M18 batteries, and it also has overload protection. So if this overheats, then the battery will send a signal to the motor and shut it down. The LED light is located right here. When you press the trigger, it triggers the LED light. Trigger's located on the top here. You have a rubber handle. Then you have your speed. So this toggles from 5 down to 1. You have your lockout button. And then on the top you have your orbit switch, so you can go from orbital cutting to straight cutting. And the nice thing is this is adjustable, so it can actually toggle in between the two settings, so you can adjust how much of an orbital cut you want by adjusting the switch. If you want fast aggressive cutting, you want to switch it to the orbital cutting. If you want smooth cutting, then you switch it to straight cut. So there's a rafter hook. It has 3 different positions. Actually 4. One of the things that's different with the Super Sawzall is the quick lock blade clamp. So this just turns and then you remove your blade. Admittedly, this takes a little bit getting used to, but it could be a really good improvement. And I know that one of the complaints that we've had is the mechanism by which you get the blades in and out tends to break on Sawzalls. So if this is more rugged and lasts longer, that's going to be a good thing. Like with all M18 batteries, you have a battery power indicator, so you just press the button and it shows you how much juice you have. The form factor has not changed at all with the Super Sawzall. The M12 just slides into the back. When you hear the click, it's in place. One of the things that always impresses me with Milwaukee are their bags and cases that you get with the tools. This thing actually is big enough to be a gym bag. It's huge. So with this kit, so this is the Super Sawzall kit, you get the rapid charger, you get one thin kerf metal blade, you get the Super Sawzall, and you get the 12.0 amp hour battery. So this all easily fits into the bag. And on each side of the bag you have 3 pockets. You have one in the middle and on each side here. Same thing goes with the other side. So you've got plenty of storage with this bag. It's pretty cool. I almost forgot, it does come with a shoulder strap too. I guess because I'm a little bit of a geek, I like reading the directions. And one of the things that I found was the speed dial setting. Now, Milwaukee has different settings for the type of materials that you'll be cutting to. So it might be worth checking this out in the directions. Now, one of the things that I wanted to tell you, we're going to be using the Milwaukee Torch carbide teeth blade. This is meant for cast iron, stainless steel, and high strength metal alloys, and this can cut through 3/16 of an inch to 1/2 inch metal. So this is one of the blades we're going to be using today. The other blade we're going to use is the Axe carbide teeth blade. This is a phenomenal blade. This can cut through things like shingles, cement board, and nail embedded wood. So if you're going to be cutting like 2x material that has nails in it, this is the blade that you want to use. If you're cutting through metal, go for the Torch blade. The first set of tests we're going to do will be on wood. So this is a 2x12 pressure treated piece of lumber. Then we'll do 4x4s and then 2x4s. Also, this is the Axe blade, and we're going to set it on the orbital rotation. So I had this piece of 2x12 mounted into a workbench, and man, the dang thing just was vibrating back and forth so much I had to hold it in place with my foot. And as I'll mention here in a second, we actually had the Sawzall, the Super Sawzall, set on the lowest setting while we were cutting through this pressurized treated piece of lumber, but it did pretty good. So I forgot to mention that was on speed setting number 1. So let's turn it up to 5. As you can see, the Super Sawzall is already working much better on setting 5 versus setting 1. So if you want to cut through a 2x12 or 2x material at a faster rate, definitely put it on setting 5. Not bad, pretty fast. The 2x12 test went very well once we got on the setting of 5. Much smoother. Now, we're gonna be doing a test here with 3 2x4s sandwiched together. I thought I had a 4x4, but it went missing. So let's do this test.
I like this test a lot because this is a common scenario that you're going to see in homes when you're doing demo. You're going to have a lot of 2x4s sandwiched together, especially this is the case in doorways and in bathrooms. So this test is real world in many ways, and as you can see, the Super Sawzall set on 5 cuts right through these 3 2x4s, no problem whatsoever. Now on this last test, I had a little bit of a surprise. You can see it's struggling a little bit there, and then we're starting to cut again. Well, there's a very specific reason why.
Check this out. It's pretty cool. I didn't realize it, but there was a screw head that I cut through right down the middle. So there it is. Cut right down the center of that screw. The next several tests we're gonna do on different types of metal, and we swapped out the axe blade for the torch blade. Also, we put the speed setting on 3, so we got 3 for metal. Instead of orbital cut, we'll do a straight cut, because oftentimes, you know, we want to have smooth straight cuts on these metals. The first test we're going to do is on 1.5 inch copper.
The story behind this piece of copper was the fact that it was a vent pipe in an old bathroom that we were working on, hence the corrosion.
Obviously this copper is a little bit corroded because it's from an old house we were doing work on, but as you can see, it's really a nice smooth cut. This next piece of metal is galvanized steel. Again, this is a scrap piece from an old house we were demoing.
It's pretty obvious that whenever the shoe is pinned up against the pipe, the Super Sawzall performs very, very well. And we'll freely admit that when you're using these torch blades, they do an excellent job of cutting through the metal.
And again, we have a nice smooth cut on this galvanized steel. This is 3/4 inch galvanized, so let's make a few cuts.
Now, Milwaukee claims that these new 12.0 amp hour batteries run 50% cooler and give you 50% more power than the traditional M18 battery packs. And from what I can tell, that's pretty close and spot on.
Look how smooth the cut is. That's pretty darn impressive. This is 1 inch black steel pipe.
As you can see, the Super Sawzall did a great job with this steel pipe. And on all the tests, it really didn't bog down whatsoever. It didn't overheat. And we've been testing this in the field while demoing homes and are really pleased with the results. So we're going to continue to use it, so if we encounter any issues, we'll update you on that.
Looks like I created quite the mess here. Let's take a look and see how much power or juice we used. We're still on 4 dots, which is great. And by the way, before I forget, you can use this new 12.0 amp hour battery in any Milwaukee tool. It's very evident why Milwaukee calls this the Super Sawzall. We're very impressed with how it works with wood and metal and other materials. We're going to be using this more on our projects. If you have any questions, please let us know down in the comments. And we'll also put more details about the Super Sawzall in our description. Thanks for watching our video. We hope that you liked it and it'll help you out with your project. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.